And thanks for coming over and joining me on the back nine of the Lake McMurtry North course here in Stillwater, Oklahoma. If you saw the front nine, you saw a good mix of wooded and open holes, and the back nine is no different. It's got a good mix of wooded and open holes, and you end on a couple 800 plus footers. So here we go, let's get this video started. We start off with hole 10, par 3, 379 feet, all uphill. There's really only one big obstacle in the way. It's a giant tree in front of the basket. Two routes, you can go left or right of the tree. Tall grass on your right, some woods on the left. I'm gonna go the backhand route with my Bayonet. That big tree's in an awkward spot. It's kind of right where a halfway decent pull lands for me, so I'll just hug this right side. If I go in the tall grass, that's fine, just as long as I don't end up in that big tree. It could make your upshot pretty difficult since it can get buried in there. I end up just to the right of that tree. You see how big that tree is. That's just about half the size. I'm gonna go with my BB6, just kind of float one up there, give it a nice little run. So my whole goal for this hole is to avoid that big tree. Forehand route's not a bad route. Here I am with the Hooligan cash. Putting for par, sink that, even on the route. And here we go with hole 11, par 3, 275 feet. This hole is pretty straightforward. We usually play from the short pad on this one. The long pad's kind of awkward. Usually just a little nice flex forehand. Backhand, you kind of got to throw a little straight, and you kind of mess with those trees on the right there. You don't want to get caught in. I'm going to go with my Lone Star Mockingbird. Kind of a floaty 7-speed, straight. Usually I just put this on a hyzer. It'll flip up, kind of ride. Glides pretty well. Looks like I just glide a little too far, end up in those trees in the back. It's not uncommon to see some wildlife out here at McMurtry. Here's a couple deer. Oh, looks like they like to talk smack too. Nice throw, easy par, funny. Nice putt on 3 knot. Okay, thank you, deer. And here we go. Looks like I'm off in the woods here. My Hooligan cash, having to straddle putt a little bit. I got a little window. We'll see what I can do here. And caught that limb, but I think it kind of helped me. Put that in for birdie, -1 on the round. Oh, just did it again, hit that limb. That limb is the real MVP. Thank you, limb. And here we are, hole 12, par 3, 331 feet. This is a blind hyzer, kind of out of a little tunnel. You really want to hug that left side with something stable for a chance to park this hole. If you get it out a little wide, you'll probably end up in the tall stuff to the right. So here I am, I'm gonna throw my Bayonet. Something stable. Hug this left side. Here, I kind of caught the little piece of limb there. You can't really see again, it's a blind hyzer. So I'm gonna guess where this is. Oh, actually didn't end up too bad for hitting that limb just outside circle 1. Put my Hooligan cash here for birdie. Up and just to the left. And I'm gonna tap this in for par, and I'm gonna stay -1 on the round. And here we are at hole 13, par 3, 437 feet. Lots of routes to get to the basket. It's kind of blocked by a clump of trees there with one tree in the middle. You can throw the forehand flex route, get you to the left side of the basket. A placement backhand route, get you to the right of that tree. If you've got the arm, this is all uphill. If you got the arm, you could throw at that big clump of trees and have it kind of crash down to the basket. I'm gonna throw kind of a placement shot with my backhand and throw the Bayonet. Gonna try to land right of that tree. Maybe get a little past it. Here we go. Doesn't look too bad out of the hand. Get to the right of that tree, kind of get in that little gap there. Hopefully you see the basket from there. About 95 feet out. Kind of blocked by those trees, not really a forehand route around there. A little close. I'm going to try a grenade with my Chupacabra, really overstable 9-speed. Here we go. Up. Kind of hit the tree. It actually hit the basket coming down there. So it ended up better than I thought it would. There you go. Tap in for par, -1 on the round. Go hole 14, par 4, 506 feet. This is one of the more difficult holes on the course. One of my favorites, lots of ways to get there. Usually you want a placement shot that'll get you right before the little tunnel, or you can throw it a little short of the tunnel and go over the top. That's usually the more popular play, because you really can't get there from the tee. Maybe somebody can, I've never seen it. So I'm gonna try a placement shot, laying short of those trees on the right, and I'm gonna try and go over the top. So I'm gonna throw my Lone Star Frio. It's a neutral 7-speed. Just gonna try and lay it out there. I wanna end up short of the clump of trees on the right. Even that little tunnel in the middle is kind of hard to get to. It narrows down as you get up there. You really have to have a good shot. And even then, you'd have to have it skip to the right to even have a look at the basket. So this is the more popular play. Forehand's a good shot over there. I'm gonna go the backhand route. Basket's about 250 feet that way. I throw mine a little wide to the right with my Lone Star Seguin, really overstable 13 speed. So not sure how that ends up. So I'm gonna go in there and look for it. Hopefully it ends up well. Actually didn't end up too bad. Got to look to the basket. You see how that trail kind of bends around there. So I'm going to go with the little Scooby shot, tomahawk, whatever you want to call it, with my Lone Star Walker. I'm just going to have put a little angle on it and just have it land on the top side of the disc and just have it slide on up there. You can't see it, but that's what I ended up doing. Hit on the top side, just slid right up there. Nice little shot to have in your arsenal of disc golf shots. And there we go. Tap that in for par. Still -1 on the round. And here we go. Hole 15, par 3, 286 feet. Feels longer than that. All uphill. Another woods hole. Really fun hole. And this is actually my second time playing this hole. I forgot to hit record. So I actually played this worse than what I did the first time. But you see the basket way up there. It's guarded by a bunch of trees, kind of a slim tunnel. So you want to throw something understable, have it drift off to the right, or a forehand shot's not bad. You just kind of want to avoid all the trees. If you get off to the right, it's a lot more open. If you stay on the left side, you're blocked by those trees. I'm going to go with my Hooligan Cash forehand. This is the right side of the fairway I was talking about, really open. That's the place you want to be. My first drive, the first time I played this hole, ended up past that big clump of trees, and I had a nice shot at birdie. Instead, I'm right there with the Hooligan Cash, forehand it, really versatile disc, overstable. Tap in for par, -1 on the round. Here's hole 16, par 3, 311 feet. You got a downhill tunnel shot through the woods that you want to hyzer left. If you're throwing backhand, that's usually the more popular play. You want to hit that gap. It's a lot more downhill than what it looks like on the video. Really fun shot. I usually just throw something overstable distance driver, fairway driver, depending on the wind. I kind of hit those tree limbs a little bit. Sometimes those tree limbs will skip you off into the woods. Luckily mine just hit it straight down. Got a long look for birdie, floated in there on DB6, tapped in for par, -1 on the round. We're going to end with 2 long holes here. Here's hole 17, par 4, 806 feet. Got a tunnel shot coming out of your initial drive. You just want to keep it in the fairway. You got the road on the left side, that's out of bounds. You got some tall grass on the right. So I usually just throw something straight to stable, throw it out there, maybe on a little ante. You just want to keep on the right side. That's usually the safe play, and have it drift off back towards the middle. I can get it out of the tunnel. You can hit those tree limbs coming out of the tunnel and put you in a pretty tough spot. I'm going to throw my Bayonet here for my upshot. I didn't really get a good pull on the drive. I've still probably got 400 plus feet to go. Get a decent drive with my Bayonet there. Again, you got the tall grass all on the right side. And the road follows left side OB all the way. Got a little look. Throw my Hooligan Cash out there. Don't want to get close on that one. I'm going to tap in for par, -1 on the round. And here we go, last hole, hole 18, par 4, 784 feet. This one, again, you just want to stay down the middle. You got road, OB on the left side with some tall grass and woods on the right. The ideal play is having your drive going as far as possible, sometimes down by that toll booth, so you can have an over-the-top shot to the basket for birdie. If your drive ends up a little short, you might have to throw a little placement shot to get to the mouth of that tunnel. So I'm going to throw my Lone Star Nimitz. It's still pretty new in this video. Still pretty stable. Usually I like to throw something that's going to go move right to left. This one just kind of stays straight. Not a bad pull. You see the left side on the road. See that little toll booth there. So I'm not as close to have a comfortable over-the-top shot, but you don't want to end up in those woods, so I just throw a little placement shot to the mouth of the tunnel. See the basket off in the darkness there. I'm going to throw my Lone Star Mockingbird, just a straight 7-speed, really glidey. End up making it in a tunnel, and that's danger on both sides of that tunnel you don't want to be in. Go with my Hooligan Cash here to save par. Getting a little dark. And there we go. Save par, and I go -1 on the round. And I appreciate you all watching. If you're ever in Stillwater, be sure and check out Lake McMurtry courses. There's $6 entry with plenty to do: swimming, fishing, camping, and of course disc golf. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe.